Now at 10, medical students at KCU Joplin get hands-on training with revolutionary new AI equipment. Plus, emergency personnel respond to a construction accident turned fatal in Crawford County. And a vintage military convoy rolls through southeast Kansas.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
KCA Joplin is revolutionizing medical education by using a new AI device to teach medical students. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach. The university says it's the first to use the AI equipment in the U.S. as the foundation of the students' curriculum. KOAM's Lonnie Walton shows us why this device is so vital to students' education.
Here at Kansas City University, we're teaching point-of-care ultrasound in a new way that really nobody else in the country is doing.
Dr. Robert Arns is an ER doctor and clinical faculty member at Kansas City University. He says the medical students are getting top-notch education, and thanks to AI, they're doing it all by themselves.
It really is a game changer for us. We have a large medical school. We're the 5th largest medical school in the United States. I'm just one professor. It'd be very difficult for me to teach 400 students without AI, but with this I can give them the basics and then they literally can learn themselves.
It's not like your typical medical equipment. We have one student that says it's so small you can hold it in the palm of your hands.
Basically like a little pack with your ultrasound, a cable that connects really nicely to your iPad and even your phone, but most students tend to use it with their iPad.
Sharon Paula is a third-year medical student. She says she loves how she can take this device anywhere.
It's been really nice to have it almost like a second stethoscope. Very easy for me to find cool things with the ultrasound.
At the end of the day, the patient gets the best outcome.
Using the ultrasound by the clinician at the bedside, much like you would a stethoscope. And so I'm getting feedback real time. I'm performing the scan myself.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Dr. Arndt says the device will also help reduce the cost of care for the patient. Chief Meteorologist Doug Eddy joins us with a first look at weather.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a much cooler day for us today after record highs that we had late last week and then into the weekend. But cold front rolled through yesterday, so quite a bit cooler. Highs only into the 60s. We have a northerly wind kind of ushering in that cooler air on top of us. In fact, if we look at our winds, they're going to be really picking up as we go into Tuesday. Look at our wind gusts, anywhere from 25 upwards to 30 miles per hour. So it is going to be pretty windy. We also have a freeze warning in effect, not tonight, but tomorrow night. So this is going to be our first frost/freeze across the region. But until then, it's pretty calm. We have mostly clear skies, and that's what we're going to see as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight. We do have a warming trend as well. We're going to look at that, plus some rain chances here in just a bit.
Emergency personnel responded to a fatal construction accident today in Cherokee County. The incident happened around 10:56 this morning, involving an excavator and a semi-truck. The excavator was unloading material from the semi and a piece slipped, falling off the opposite side of the trailer and hitting the driver of the semi. Authorities list the victim as a 50-year-old male.
Had hauled the material here for was unloading it. He was out, he was just the driver of the semi. So the company was unloading the semi and some of the material shifted and caused it to fall off the opposite side of where they were unloading it, where he was standing, and smashed him.
Now this is a developing story. We'll have more details available on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, when they become available. Jasper County authorities investigate a rollover crash from last night. The crash happened around 9 p.m. on County Road 120 in Carthage at Dry Fork Creek. A vehicle traveling at highway speeds flipped multiple times and landed in the creek bed. Came to a stop in about 2 feet of water. All 3 occupants of the vehicle were transported to area hospitals. Their injuries are unknown at this time, and this crash is being treated as a DWI investigation. Well, if you saw some older military vehicles on the road in southeast Kansas today, your eyes were not deceiving you. The historic military convoy is making its way through the area. The group spent time at Miners Hall Museum in Franklin and the Crawford County Historical Museum in Pittsburgh.
Something that a lot of people don't really understand, what the contribution was of all of the military vehicles over the years that have moved supplies, equipment, personnel for the armies all over the world.
If you didn't catch them today, they'll be at Big Brutus starting at 3 p.m. tomorrow. Well, another event involved vehicles today, this time in Carthage, as part of the annual Maple Leaf Festival from 5 until 7 this evening. Parents could bring kiddos out to the Carthage Square where they could explore, climb, and touch some of the big trucks and heavy equipment the city has to offer. Now, Ream says the event serves as a great fun for kids and Carthage businesses alike.
Opportunity for businesses to come out that have big trucks and service trucks, let kids get an up-close look, personal touch, feel, honk the horns, just so they're not afraid or find a new profession.
And we'll have more on this year's Maple Leaf Festival coming up later in the show. Well, U.S. Senator drops in on a restaurant in Southwest Missouri today. That story's coming up. And both presidential candidates also hit the campaign trail today. U.S. Senator Josh Hawley made a stop in Southwest Missouri. The senator hosted an event at Fred and Red's restaurant in Joplin today. Just over 20 days left before Election Day, Hawley has been hitting the campaign trail to try and drum up support for his re-election. His Democratic challenger, Lucas Kunce, was in Joplin for a rally just last week. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump held dueling campaign events tonight in Pennsylvania. As new CBS News polling shows the race virtually tied in key battleground states. Natalie Brand has the latest.
During a town hall in a suburb outside Philadelphia, former President Donald Trump focused on the economy, including mortgage rates.
We're going to get interest rates brought way down. You know, we had interest rates at 2%.
He also tied undocumented migrants entering the U.S. to economic problems and race.
When millions of people pour into our country, they're having a devastating effect on black families and Hispanic families more than any others.
On the other side of the state, Vice President Kamala Harris rallied in Erie, where she also touched on housing prices.
We will bring down the cost of housing and help first-time home buyers, giving them $25,000 for down payment assistance.
And Harris seized on comments Trump made yesterday, suggesting using the National Guard or military to take care of what he calls the enemy from within.
Donald Trump is increasingly unstable and unhinged. And he is out for unchecked power. That's what he's looking for.
This was the first time both candidates were in the same battleground state at the same time since their debate last month. They'll hit more key states tomorrow, with Harris scheduled to campaign in Michigan and Trump in Georgia. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
Now, Trump earlier this year opposed bipartisan legislation to provide additional money to border security, including funding for new agents. Well, Doug returns with a chilly look at your forecast, and later.
Festivities for the annual Maple Leaf Festival are already underway. I'm Samantha Walker, and tonight we'll take a look at the history of the yearly tradition.
Save for a way-off competition. Join us for that and more right here at 5.
Well, of course, it turned out to be a much cooler day for us today behind the strong cold front that rolled through yesterday. Of course, we had record highs late last week and then into the weekend, and then just a big switch. So from 90s, and then we have our first freeze warning, which is in effect not tonight, but as we head into Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. Most of our temperatures upper 20s to lower 30s. So if you do have some plants outside that can't take it, you want to bring them inside or cover them up. Thankfully, it's not going to last long. We're going to start to warm right back up by the time we head into the latter half of the work week. All right, so on Tuesday, look at this. High temps only into lower 60s, and then it's tomorrow night that we got to watch the freeze. Look at our temperatures all the way down to 33 in Stockton, down to 30 in Neosho, 32 in Welch, 32 in Independence. Iola will dip back to about 30 degrees. Now the winds are also going to start to pick up. We have a light northerly wind for us today, kind of ushering in those cooler temperatures, but the winds will increase on Tuesday. We'll have northeasterly winds kind of gusting 25 upwards to 30 miles per hour. These will start to calm down a bit as we go into Wednesday. You can see they switch back out of the south, and that will help our temperatures start to warm back up as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Not a whole bunch going on, pretty much clear skies, just a few mid and upper level clouds kind of shooting through. Here's our big upper level low that we've been keeping our eyes on. It's not really going to give us any rain, but it is ushering in those cooler temperatures right across the Central Plains and will affect our weather as we go through the next couple days. We also want to watch this because once we get into the winter time, this part of the pattern will return, and this will bring in those really big Arctic blasts that we hate to see during the winter months. All right, so this is going to shift east. Ridge of high pressure rolls in. That's going to give us a warming trend. And then finally, we have some storm systems out to the west, and these will start to head toward us as we head into the weekend and early next week and finally break that dry pattern that we've seen really over the past 2 months with at least decent chances for rain. Until then, it stays pretty quiet. All right, let me walk you through time. By morning, temperatures, they're going to dip back into lower 40s, so it is going to be a chilly night. As we go through the morning hours, some mid and upper level clouds, temperatures into the upper 50s by noon, so kind of crisp. And then it looks like most of us will top out 62, 63 degrees for afternoon highs on Tuesday. And then, of course, our freeze as we go into Wednesday morning. And then as we get into Wednesday afternoon, temperatures really not bad as we get back into the mid 60s for afternoon highs. All right, starting 44 in the morning, 60 by noon. Look at that high temp below average of only 63 degrees. So of course that first frost and freeze, windy for us tomorrow. And then we're going to watch our warming trend the rest of the week and those rain chances finally rolling in by early next week. Let's go 63 tomorrow, 64 on Wednesday, 70 on Thursday, and then back near 80 as we head into the weekend, but a really nice fall-like week for us this week.
Well, the Maple Leaf Festival in Carthage, Missouri has become a beloved fall tradition over the past 58 years, featuring music, food, crafts, and its famous parade. The festival has developed many important traditions since it began. KOAM's Samantha Walker sat down with organizers to learn more about the history of the parade.
The year 1966 was quite different from today. Lyndon B. Johnson was president, and a tank of gas cost roughly 30 cents. But one thing that has stayed the same is the Maple Leaf Festival in Carthage.
In 1966, it started with the Carthage High School marching band competition. And there was a lot of movers and shakers that came together and thought that let's get together and have a parade. And so the following year, they organized what you see now.
While the traditional parade and marching band competitions still take place each year, the festival has grown greatly. Now popular activities include vendors, a lip-syncing competition, and this year, a Renaissance fair. For the Carthage Chamber of Commerce, it's important to honor the traditions that make the Maple Leaf Festival special, all while introducing new activities.
It means a lot, I think, not only to us, but to the community as well, to carry on those traditions. And we're happy to do it and keep doing it and reinventing the wheel and trying out new things and hoping that those things that we do now carry on those same traditions 50 years from now.
And as the city's famous maple leaves begin to change color in fall, it's a sign that it's time for another year of tradition.
Our maple trees are just absolutely beautiful when they're changing. I think with the freeze warning that's coming and the cooler temperatures, hopefully we'll see some of those trees starting to turn color by Saturday, but we're at the hands of Mother Nature on that.
Reporting in Carthage, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
You can find a full schedule of all the activities the Maple Leaf Festival has to offer on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, a fox covered in mange has been spotted west of Springfield, and the sighting brought up the question, can your pets get mange from wild animals? A veterinarian says mites that cause mange are transferred by physical contact and do not live long without a host. So if you need so you don't need to worry about mites being left behind. Now, mites are not visible to the naked eye like lice, fleas, or ticks. If your pets do get infested by mites, there are 2 treatments to consider.
Sometimes you give these every 30 days and it really does help get rid of the mites. We've even found with demodectic mange that we can use this product every month, and it might take 2 to 3 treatments to get it taken care of.
There are also shampoos or dips that can be used to treat mites. Well, coming up in sports, we hear from Missouri Southern football during the team's weekly press conference. Plus, it's the regular season finale between Joplin and Webb City softball. Brock Baldridge has highlights up next.
News Now is looking for organizations that regularly
quality, compassionate, affordable care.
Well, the bad news for Missouri Southern football is they've lost back-to-back games. However, the good news is they showed a lot of promise during their most recent contest going against a nationally ranked team. Missouri Southern fell in the hands of defeat once again, but this time it was to the Emporia State Hornets. After the game, Lions lost this one 49-30. However, there are a few bright spots in the game, one of those being the Lions offense that scored 30 points for the first time this season. Head coach Atiba Bradley addressed the media about some of the positives on Monday morning.
I was really proud of our guys' effort. Offensively, it's one of our largest outputs of the year. Defensively, plagued a little bit still with the big plays. Those still seem to be a thorn in our paw, but guys were flying around. We got a lot of stops. We played, I thought at times, our best football in longer spurts than we have all year.
We've had some guys step up, and as the season goes on, everybody's you see more stuff and all that, so you get to knowing what to do better, learning how to run our defense and read keys and know what to look at.
Well, in the blink of an eye, the fall sports season in Missouri is coming to an end. Tonight, Joplin and Webb City square off on the softball diamond for possibly the final time this year. Regular season finale for Webb City. The Lady Cardinals are playing at home this evening against the Joplin Eagles, and this game lived up to the hype. Starting in the bottom of the 5th, tied up at 3 runs apiece, Kylie Sargent crushes this one deep to center field. It's out of here for a 2-run home run. Webb City leads 5-3, but that was just the beginning. Tie game here, extra innings, top of the 8th, Riley Kelly makes a statement. A go-ahead solo home run gives Joplin the 6-5 lead, but the Cardinals, they tie it up after that. Top of the 9th, ducks on the pond, Jaden Payne-Cow. She's going to row in college, but she can also hit bombs. That's a 3-run homer. Joplin leads 12-8. Ideally, you would think it's over, but the Cardinals, they don't want to go home yet. Addie Brown gets all of this one. That's another 3-run home run in this game. Webb City only trailing 12-11. This game may never end, but it has to at some point. Ava Wolf puts this one to bed with a swinging strikeout. What a way to end the regular season. Joplin takes down Webb City 12-11. Both teams get set for postseason play later this week. Well, as we do every week, we have a new Performance of the Week winner, and this week our winner is the Columbus Titans, who shut out the Riverton Rams 36-0. The Titans are now 5-1 on the season, and Friday they hit the road to face another undefeated team, and that's the Frontenac Raiders, who, well, that will be a heck of a game. We'll be covering that one. Well, to vote on next week's Performance of the Week, just head over to KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Well, we are officially 3 weeks away until the start of the Division I men's college basketball season. This morning, the preseason AP Top 25 poll was released, along with the SEC preseason media poll. Let's start with the AP. Here's a look at the top 10. Kansas Jayhawks will start the season as the #1 ranked team in America. KU received 31st place votes. Alabama comes in at number 2. The other 4 teams in the Big 12, they were ranked in the top 10. Those include Houston, Iowa State, Baylor, and Arizona. Over to the SEC now. The conference releases their preseason poll ahead of the men's college basketball season. Alabama takes the top spot. Arkansas is picked to finish in 4th place after their new head coach, John Calipari. He came over from Kentucky, so Arkansas fans really hopeful for that. Missouri and Oklahoma not getting as much love from the media. Tigers were picked to finish at number 13. Oklahoma to finish picked at number 15, right behind last place Vanderbilt. So lots of rankings, lots of stuff going on. How about that softball game? Joplin and Webb City came right down to the wire to the end.
How long was that game?
At least 2.5 hours. I know one of our former producers, Zach Dobbs, he was there filming that. So cold night. He got warmed up after that. So I'm glad he was able to get some of those good moments.
Good to know. I saw like the video from the beginning to the end. It was daylight, dark, you know. So you could tell it.
Yeah, went a long time, and they got a JV game after that. So.
Oh wow, long night. Cool. And back to KU being number one.
Yeah, they're number one. We'll see if they can get the job done this year.
Do you ever take the preseason poll and compare it with like the
I should probably
ranking,
do that.
the Final Four, like the bracket rankings and stuff?
I should probably do that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a look at sports. We're back with more news after this.
State hero.
Well, of course, it's going to be a chilly night for us tonight. We're going to drop back into lower 40s for overnight lows. Look at our high tomorrow, only 63 degrees down to 32 on Tuesday night. And then we get some really nice weather all week long. We slowly warm through the 70s to back near 80 by the time the weekend rolls around, and finally some rain chances next Monday.
Guess that's good for all the people who aren't ready for winter or fall. The city of Baxter Springs, Kansas held a ribbon cutting ceremony to celebrate the completion of a large-scale mural today. Now this mural, which takes a look at the history of Baxter Springs, covers the entire 100 by 12-foot wall of the Waterworks plant building across from the Baxter Springs High School. Artists behind the building, father and son team AJ and Jordan Wood. They were selected for the job back in April. City leaders say they hope this serves as the first of many murals for Baxter Springs.
I like that.
Cool. A neat new Route 66 attraction.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, have to go check it out. Final sports note?
Yeah, the Miami War Dogs softball team, they're going to state. They're going to have a state send-off on Wednesday at 3 p.m. We'll be there for that. If you want to go out, just go to the high school and cheer on the girls on their way to state to Oklahoma City.
3 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yep, there you go.
All right, thank you for watching, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great night and an even better Tuesday.